Hi everyone, it's Claire. Welcome back to Dance Geek. So for those of you who are relatively new to my channel, just off topic, yes, this is my natural hair. It is not naturally this color, but yes, this curl is my natural curl. I don't wear it curly enough. I know, I should, blah, 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 all of that. Anyway. So today's video is about using a tool that I have on my Dance Geek Google Drive, which I'm sharing for free, and it's a lesson plan. I am very intrigued by teachers who don't lesson plan. I just don't understand how you can do it. Like literally, hats off to you if you can. I'm a planner. I need to be. And I think given that we're a creative industry, planning doesn't necessarily come particularly easy to us. Staying organized, staying focused is really hard for creative people in general. And if I didn't plan, I would probably spend an intense hour of my class on the one exercise. When I have a lesson plan though, it gives me focus, gives me structure, and helps me to get through the ridiculous amount of work that dance teachers need to do. Now, I'm really fortunate. My sister is a primary school teacher here in Australia, and the simple lesson plan that I use is based on just a conversation I had with her. I didn't go to uni to study a Bachelor of Education. I'm going to do my master's in education, but I didn't do that part of it at uni. I do have a qualification in dance teaching, and they do teach you lesson planning in that quite extensively, but I feel like it sometimes gets overcomplicated. So I wanted to go through lesson planning using the exact tool that I use, well, a version of the exact tool that I use. I'm going to show you how you can customize it for yourself, and I want to show you why this is actually going to be less work in the long run for you as dance teachers. If you would like to use my template, just send me an email and I'll send you the link to my Google Drive. I have dancegeektools@gmail.com, and I'll send you the link to this, and you can have free access to this particular file. What this video is going to do is show you how to use it physically, like on the screen, and how you can apply it to your dance classes and your dance teaching. So once you click on the link in the email, you'll be taken to this particular file. Now, this is very customized for me for Dance Geek. You've got the teal, you've got my logo. You can take the logo out. If you want to use this for your own studio, you can completely customize this, and we'll go over that at the end. If you just want to know how to use it as is, boom, let's go through it. So anything that has these little brackets here, that's intended that you're going to change it. So what you need to do here is highlight this text in between anything that's including the brackets and put the class name in. So let's pretend it's Junior Ballet, and then the day and the time. So not the date, just the day and the time. So this is the class that you teach on Monday at 4:30 to 5:15. Trying to make it as obvious as realistic as possible. Teacher, me, write your name though. So the regular teacher, Claire Haywood. Now the date, this is what you will do for each lesson. So let's put today's date. I'm filming this on the 26th, and just double click those little MM, so that's your month, because this is Australian. What month are we in? Oh gosh, February 2020. Location, if this doesn't apply to you, if you only teach in the one physical location, then don't worry about it. But this is for a lot of the studios I teach at have more than one room. So I'm going to put in here the school. So let's pretend this is at Generic Dance Studio. Pretend that's a business name. And it's in Studio 2. Cool. Lesson focus. So I put in little explanations of what this should be. What is the main thing you will focus on in this class? Remember to let your students know this expectation. This is the main thing that I do. If I'm lazy with my lesson planning and I only do one part of it, this is the thing I will do. So I will go into the class and I will say, okay guys, today we're going to focus on blah, 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 blah. So at the moment, I'm doing my focus for all of my classes at the moment is on learning and retaining choreography. Just the focus. That's all it is. That's not how you spell choreography. Let's change that. Lovely. Thank you, Google Docs. All right, class outline. So this is where you can do as much detail or as little detail as you need. I think of it as lesson focus. You're going to tell that to the students. Class outline, this is where it's talking to you. You're talking to yourself. So you can get rid of this particular line. You don't really need that. This is my standard little outline for a class. That's pretty much what I do in every class, but you tweak it to fit the style. I know and my students know my cardio warm-up is 10 laps running, 10 laps side gallops, or 15 or 20, depending on the age and level. So I won't write that detail in here, but you could put the detail in. If you put a return, so this is a list of a bullet list. If you wanted to, you could take the bullet list out, the numbered list out completely, which you'd go up to here. So if you want to change this whole thing from a numbered list and just make it free text, go up to here and just deselect that. If you want to make it a bullet list, boom, boom. If you want to go back to it being a numbered list, you can. If you wanted to put the details of each one, what I'd recommend is go into numbered list, click the drop down box and pick either the one with the A's. You can have these A's and B's, these 1.2, that kind of thing. That's just a personal preference. So what I would do is, for me, I'd go, all right, let's flick it to, let's go with this one. If I want to put in each of the details within the cardio warm-up, so under that heading of cardio warm-up, I do a return. Now we see we've got a 2 here, but I then just press tab. What it's going to do is push this across and change the 2 to 1.1. So we start with jogging. We do another return, just a standard return, and it will automatically go to here. If you want that to be, push it back and make a number 2 to start a whole new one, go up to the top here where your bullets were, and this little decrease indent. If you decrease the indent on a numbered list, it'll make it a 2. When I pressed the tab before, you can also do, instead of that, you can do increase the indent and it'll do the same thing. So I can do the jogging, then I do side gallops, and let's just leave it at that. Alternative, you can do, if you just want to put some free text underneath that number, but you don't want it to be an actual number, you hold down the shift on your keyboard, press return or enter, and you'll get a text under there. So if this is just to remind yourself, you just write standard stretch series, blah. And that's a couple of ways you can use that bullet list. So this is going through everything that you're going to be doing. Now, what you need to do is make sure that everything here relates back to whatever your lesson focus is. The next section is your outcomes. This is these 3 points here. Your outcomes should be, what should your students learn as a result of this class? How will you have contributed to achieving any goals? And what this might lead towards. You don't have to do all 3 of these for every class, but it's a good thing to think about them. So what are you students going to get out of it? At the end of this class, what should your students know? Should they have a better understanding? They're not going to be able to do a perfect double pirouette at the end of one class. That's not what we're focusing on. It should be something like they should have a better understanding of how to do pirouettes, if pirouettes is your focus. So the outcomes should relate back to your focus. Now, this second point, how will you have contributed to achieving any goals set for the class? So this could be something like your class has to do an exam on X date or at X time of year. Have you contributed towards that? And in what way have you contributed towards that. So it's, or you might have a performance you've got to get towards. So it helps you to stay on track for any goals that your class has, that you have for your class. And what might this lead towards? That's kind of a little bit more ambiguous, a little bit more vague, but it's basically referring to this should help students progress towards double pirouettes or pirouette combinations rather than just doing a single pirouette, if that kind of helps in that respect. So like I said, you don't necessarily need 3 outcomes for all of this for every class. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. This next section is, I think, crucial in staying organized for your dance classes, and absolutely brilliant when it comes to getting someone to cover your class. So the music, I've put this as resources and links, sorry. So resources is not just what stuff you're going to use. Resources and links. In this day and age, links are huge. So if you've got your music stored on a Google Drive or any other sort of shared drive, you could even here write. So if you've got someone covering your class, do music, space, put in brackets, like in the second drawer of Studio 2. Like, but you'd spell draw correctly. I mash the keys big time. This is where you'll also remind yourself if you need certain bits of equipment. You can use this to then like ask if there's if the studio principal or office manager, or if someone else is in charge of getting that equipment for you, you can use that. Here, list it down, remind yourself to get the equipment, and extra teaching resources such as like your syllabus notes, or even if you've got like a video, whatever. Either way, you might not need all of these listed here. You might just need the one. So if you want to get rid of these, highlight them, delete that again so that you've got rid of that number 2, and all you need is your music. Notes, any extra notes to remind yourself, to remind your cover teacher. This can literally just be anything. It's just a free text section where you can just chuck in whatever you need. Now, this is all formatted to be on one page, but it will continue over, and it will just go and continue over to as many pages as you need for your lesson plan. And that's the basic way to use this lesson plan. If you want to know some more detailed how to format it, how to make it a bit prettier, how to customize it for yourself, then keep watching. If you already know how to do that stuff, then please just stop by, hit like, hit subscribe, all of that sort of stuff. But if you want to keep going and find out how to actually customize this, let's go through that. So this is branded more towards what I use for Dance Geek. But if you wanted to change that, you can go up into here. So this logo, if you click on it, or if you click on dance class lesson plan, it's not going to activate straight away because it's in a header. The way you view the header is to double click in that area. So you double click, and now we've got our header up here. And that just means that no matter how many pages you use, this information up the top will always be there. If you want to change this, you can go up to here, the image, sorry. So if we want to replace this and put your own one in, you can search from the web, you can search from your drive, upload the computer, you search from your Google Drive, sorry, I meant by drive. So I'm going to upload something from my computer. Apparently I'm not. You can also do this with right click, okay. So I'm going to right click on it, on the picture, and go to replace image and go to upload from computer. You can use whichever one of those options you want. Now this is my editing file. So I have some very strange things in here. There's my Ariel thing, but let's just pretend we wanted this to be a picture of Ariel. Yay, there she is. You can adjust the size. It's currently formatted so that it sits to the left in line with the text, and the text will be centered. That's what this little doodle-lucky here means. You can change this to put your business name in there if you want. Just copy and paste, change it out. So that's the first thing. That logo picture there is probably one of the things you're going to want to change. Something else you might want to change is the colors. So if you go into, see this, you might be like, okay, That's a lovely colour, but we don't do teal. We love this Ariel red up here for hair. That's our colour that we use. Instead of going through and highlighting each one and changing the colour, this is all linked to styles. If we go into here, so lesson focus, if you want to change this to make it red, for example, you're just going to change it once. So we're going to change just the word lesson up to here, text color, pick your color. So let's go with this beautiful blood red color here. Yeah, but we want all of these headings here to be that blood red color. So what we're going to do now is go back to select that. So we're going to update. So go in here and update heading 1 to match what you've selected. So basically now you can see all of these headings down here because they were all called heading 1. And when we go in here, it shows you heading 1 is now this red color. Okay. Now, if you want to make this your own, I would highly recommend saving this to your drive. And then, because I don't need a copy of it, save it to like copy and then save it before you do all of the changes to that one. Save it to your drive and then share it from there so that you're not sharing my original one, because that's your, once you have this, is yours. I don't need it. I don't need to see what you're doing. I don't want everybody's lesson plans. Whew. That's just my quick-ish, I suppose, not quick at all, but that's my little rundown on how and why you should be using lesson plans. Try it for a couple of weeks. It's a little bit of work before each class. I tend to do mine on the day of the class. I have a view of what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks, but I don't necessarily sit down and type them all out weeks in advance. But it helps you to stay on track if you've got performances coming up, exams coming up, or even just if you want to make sure you're doing slightly different things every week. You don't have to do the same exact class every week. Doing the same exercises but with a slightly different focus. So you can do the same plie exercise, the same tendu exercise from your ballet syllabus every week. But if you make your focus on those exercises, make the focus 1 week, feet. Then the focus the next week could be upper body. Then the focus the 3rd week could be putting those 2 things together, feet and upper body. Doesn't mean that when you work on feet, you forget about what the arms are doing. It just means that you take the pressure off yourself as a teacher and the pressure off the kids, the students, because let's face it, most of the time they're kids. You take the pressure off the students that they have to get everything right at once. You can't do that. They're learning. You've got to learn in increments and in stages, and lesson planning really helps you as a teacher to get that across to the kids. So look, have fun with your lesson planning. I hope it helps you to be a more focused teacher, and I hope it really helps you to organize the chaos of a creative brain, because I feel you. That is how my brain goes. But these sorts of things just really help to bring some focus, bring some clarity to our crazy world of dance. So if you would like to see anything else like this, I obviously don't have comments on my videos anymore because I predominantly make videos that are suitable for children, and YouTube doesn't allow comments, thankfully, in child-friendly videos. So if you would like anything else like this, comment on my Instagram, comment on my Facebook posts, comment or send me an email, and I will get back to you. I respond to everything, even if it's like even if it's just with a little heart emoji. If you ask me a question though, I will respond. I will tell you the answer. So please get in contact with me if there's anything else like this that you would like. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the thumbs down if you didn't, because you're entitled to your opinion, and analytics sees it the same anyway. Subscribe to my channel if you want updates of when I will be updating more things. I'm gonna go and eat that amazing chicken that's cooking in the oven because it smells brilliant, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.